Hello and welcome back. Today I have two new oscilloscopes and they are from the new generation of 12-bit oscilloscopes. One is from Siglent, it's the SDS824X HD, and we have the Rigol DHO924S with the signal generator. They are borrows from the Ale shop, so thank you Ale shop, but of course we cannot do a teardown, but we just have a hands-on. What are the differences, what are the similarities, sizes? I see this one is 3 kilo, this one is 2 kilos, also the box is a lot smaller. Let's open the boxes. Before we have a look at the oscilloscopes, the sizes and the accessories that come with it, I want to talk about the packaging. This is the Siglent that uses the classical soft padding in the boxes, which gives it a very good protection all around. Rigol chooses hard plastic but with soft corners, all nicely shaped to the oscilloscope of course. And first I thought there was no paper quick start, but it is, but I almost missed it. It is here in the corner somehow. So here it is. Oh, it's the product warranty, it's not a quick start even. The Siglent here is a 200 MHz 4-channel 2 gigasamples per second 12-bit, and it comes with 4 200 MHz probes, a proper power cable and a USB cable. And it comes with a paper quick start, a list of contents, declaration for EU and UK, and recommended calibration. The quick start is quite nice, good pictures, all in English, explaining you most things to get a quick start. The Rigol is also 4-channel, but instead of 200 MHz it has 250 MHz bandwidth, but instead of the 2 gigasamples it has 1.25. It also comes with 4 probes, but they are high quality. They can go up to 350 MHz, which is a great plus. It does not come with a quick start, but we have here the information about the probes and the warranty. And instead of having an internal power supply, they use an external adapter, which makes it a smaller size, but you need to put somewhere your adapter. Because of the DC adapter, it doesn't have this earthed power plug, so they provided an extra earth connection that you can put into the back. Looking at the front, they are sort of the similar size. Display resolution is, by the way. We can see here that the Siglent is slightly wider. From the top we can see it is a lot deeper, the Siglent. This one is very compact, and here it is less wide. Let's put it flat on the table. Look at that, what a huge difference. Probably better visible like this. So if you need to put it in a tight spot, the Rigol maybe, look at that, it would have been a much better fit here instead of the bigger Siglent. From the front they are very similar. It has a USB here in the front. I think you can use that for the signal generator, because this one, the signal generator, is an option, while this is the S version, it is built in. So here we have the USB, you can store your pictures for screen dumps, and you can connect the signal generator. Also here is an S-bus. I think that is, it looks like an HDMI plug, but it is for the digital inputs if you want to use it. For the Rigol it's the same, 4 inputs, a USB for storing your screen dumps and maybe some options, and here you have the old-fashioned bigger plug. And both are 4 channels, so most of the channels are not directly accessible for the vertical and the horizontal, so you always pick your channel first. And with 2-channel oscilloscopes usually it is directly accessible. And what I mean is this, this is only a 2-channel, it's an older model, and here I have my channel 1 and my channel 2 directly. But here they solved it differently. Instead of having your channel 1 and channel 2 and your horizontal, you have here all your 4 channels, and you just switch every time and you have this control. But it's for both scopes, that is the same. Now I have my old Siglent here. It is exactly the same size. So if you want to upgrade from your Siglent to a Siglent, It just fits exactly in the same spot. But it is all about the two new ones. Here the power connector is directly in the back. It sometimes is more convenient than having it in the side, because you will have space to go out. Here we have also the LAN, we have the USB to connect it, and we have the USB for a stick, and we have here the trigger out and a pass fail. The Rigol, we have a lot more, because this is the S version. It has the signal generator, so that we have here the aux out, so it's probably the same, the trigger and the pass fail. We have a network connection, we have the LAN, and we have the HDMI, which is cool. You can practically connect a bigger screen, and it even has a USB-C, but it seems that is to power it. Yeah, it is, so you can power it with USB-C. Probably the adapter just goes in there. And here we have the ground plug banana that was supplied with it. The back is very open, so you need to be careful with dust. You can see here the back heatsink, and it seems like the ventilator is here on top, so I'm not sure if it is very noisy or not. The Siglent seems a lot more closed, but because it is bigger, they can put a lot more metal, and it is also a kilo more heavy, so maybe that's why they don't need too much cooling. It seems a bit bigger. Smaller fans usually have a higher pitch, so I wonder what will be the difference in sound. Quick look at the feet. The Siglent has his normal feet, as they always had. Some people say if you pull it forward it can just drop, but in practice I'm not pulling and pushing my scope. This has never been different. They use their classic feet. This one, because it is so compact, they have sort of click out feet. And it lies down a lot, but it is very stable even if you push or pull it. This is the angle from the side, but both can also be flat. But flat, this is less stable, although it's pretty balanced, but when it will fall, it will go to the front, I notice. Yeah. It doesn't fall to the back. Doesn't fall until here, but the front, it already falls here. And this one, of course, doesn't do anything. The Siglent has his internal power supply and can be used with this normal plug for Europe right here. The Rigol is powered with USB-C, and it has this adapter, but don't lose your cord, because it is this Mickey Mouse plug, which is less standard than the other one. Just a little boot up test. This is something you only do once a day, but anyway, just to see the boot up speed. Booting the Rigol took about 1 minute and 5 seconds, while the Siglent took 35 seconds. Both is still very long, because my old Siglent just booted in 15 to 20 seconds. And yes, I know you only do this once a day, but still 1 minute 5 seconds is quite some time. Let me bore you with some specifications. 4-channel 12-bit, 4-channel 12-bit, 200 MHz. 250 MHz. This one has 2 gigasamples, which is shared over the 4 channels. In older models of oscilloscopes, they said it could be 2 gigasamples, but then you share one here and one here. That is not the case with both of these. If you use only one channel, you can have the full 2 gigasamples. Same for this one. If you use only one channel, you have the full 1.25. We have capture rates, which is about 500,000 waveforms per second. Here we have 1 million, so that is quite good. If you look at the memory, we have here 100 megapoints, while this one is 50 megapoints. When we use all the channels on both, then this one will have 25 per channel, and this one only 10 megapoints. The time base, this one, the lowest is 1 nanosecond, and here we have 2 nanoseconds, which is a bit weird because this frequency can go higher. Sensitivity or noise floor is about 70 microvolts, and here it's 200 microvolts, so it seems it's more sensitive. The screens are both 7-inch, 1024 by 600, both are touch screens. When we look price wise, if we have the normal 924 also without the signal generator, just as this one doesn't have, price is more or less similar in the Netherlands. In euros it's like 845 and this one is 820. If you want it with the generator, it already goes up to 966, so it's a lot higher. But if you need to buy the generator option here, you will probably end up also in that price or maybe even higher. Both have the logic analyzer as an option. This one has the extra, the HDMI for external screens. If we look at the time base, we already saw that this one had 2 nanoseconds instead of 1, but also the maximum is 500, while here it is 1000 seconds. And the big plus, the probes are 350 MHz on this one, while here it is exactly what it is made for, 200. So what is so special with the 12 bits? Why do you think you need to upgrade or not? Is it just bigger, better, just because the number is higher? Let's have a quick look, the difference between 8 and 12. I will just do one little comparison between the 8-bit here and the 12-bit here, just because they are very similar, and then we focus on the two, of course, here. I will be using my Leo Bodner super fast pulser. We can do a rise time test with this. It's a square wave, 10 MHz, super fast, and it's great for this test. I will be using here the inline terminator. Just click it on the channel, power it with USB, and auto setup. And let's zoom in a bit. Maybe let's do a single shot. Yeah, okay. And let's zoom in a bit. So we're looking now on the top of the square wave. We see some overshoot, but when we try to zoom in, you can see how rough it actually is. And this is the 8-bit that we can see. It starts to be digital. And push the auto button. Oh, this is, I don't like, I need to push twice. I don't understand why, because if it was the default button, you need to confirm OK. But the auto button? Okay, well, anyway. Let's do the same, single, and zoom in. We can see this is a lot smoother. Let me make a screenshot also. Well, you can see, well, this looks very block, very old-fashioned digital. This one is a lot smoother. Let me try to get the screenshot side by side. How does that look on this one? We have auto button. Yes, we have also one push, which is great. Let's do a single shot. Yeah, on the Rigol this also looks very good. It even looks a little bit more detailed. You can see here it overshoots a bit more and it comes down the same. This one is also in 50 millivolts. SS here is also 50 millivolts. But here it doesn't shoot that far, so it really seems it is a little bit faster, this one, so it captures this better. But you can both see the advantage of this 12-bit. Let me see if I can do a screen dump. I think it is here storage, and then it says save image, PNG color. Where is my OK button? I need to say save then here. Okay, I like much better that on the Siglent that you just push a button save. Well, I have the Leo Bodner pulser there, and it should have 1.4 nanoseconds, and this one, because of the 200 MHz, a little bit slower, 1.8. So let's see if they can do that. Let's go back to auto. Sometimes it takes me a while to find things, and it has nothing to do that it is not user friendly. It's just that I'm not used to using the Rigol and much more a Siglent user. But what I have seen quality wise, it is quite good. So where is my rise time? Yeah, again I'm looking and looking. Measure menu, then I have here all kinds of pictures. I need to again go in a menu, and I have the frequency and rise time. Okay, I found my rise time. And what now? And the rise time is indeed 1.4, exactly as specified. That is pretty cool, and it's not even, yeah, of course when you zoom in it's better. Look at that, 1.4000. It is exactly as specified. Siglent auto setup, yeah, here it goes. Then we go to the measure menu, and immediately we have all our values. And of course we are more precise when we zoom in a little bit. And the Siglent actually is 1.42 instead of the 1.8. So that means this one is also close to, theoretically, it should be able to do 240, 250 megahertz, close to what the Rigol can do. The channels, we have now one channel switched on. We can see here it is the full 2 gigasamples. We switch on the second channel, we can see it now goes down to 1 for each, and now it goes down to 500, and now it stays of course in the 500. And pushing again, we switch it off. First push is for the settings, the second one is to switch it off. And what can we do? If we click on it, we can see the scale, and you can even copy this setting to another channel. I see we have here the coupling, the full bandwidth, the probe settings. You can even add labels and the units. Switching the channels here is more or less the same, but somehow it seems more logical to do this on the touchscreen. And it's pretty cool. And wow, these are like, this looks a bit much at first, but it's actually pretty cool. You can display on and off. That is like the port is on and off, I think, fine. I'm not sure if that is persistence or you get more points. You see all your settings, but you can actually see it here going through all the amplifiers, going through the whole front end, so you understand better what you are changing. It's actually pretty cool. Well, you have the units, the coupling, the offsets, more or less the same. But I like that they show how it goes through the amplifier. You see that also in ham equipment sometimes, if you set filters on and off, what you're actually doing. So I'm not sure if I can push here or if I can change the setting, or it is just what it is, it seems. So pretty cool, but maybe if you are a starter, this could maybe be a bit much. I'm doing now a mod function, channel 1 plus channel 1, and this one shows it as a third color in the screen, and the Rigol shows it in different screens, but you see a lot of information, which I also like. Let's try to play a little bit with the XY mode. I think it was acquire XY mode on, and we can change the frequency a bit. Yeah, and it responds very fast, to be honest. It's cool. Let's do the same here. In the end it was very simple, but it took me about a minute to find it, but it is just in the setting menu. And here is the XY mode. And but I seem to have some sort of a trigger problem, because here I do see multiple instead of one. It should be just a simple sine wave. Maybe if I change the frequency. Now it's locked. And the Siglent just locks better on both signals somehow. It is there rock solid. But once it locks right and we do a little phase change, it seems to lock good. Of course, on the Siglent we can do the same. But having two signals with two different frequency, the Siglent just seems to trigger better. Because if I change now the frequency here, and I go down, it just seems to lock every time. We're doing the same here, frequency, and go down, and then we see it is jumping all around. And yeah, the Siglent just does that nicer. Then we have cursor functions. You can just set your cursors, you push, you get your next one, or you move everything. On the Rigol we have the same cursor option, but then we have two buttons here, which makes it sometimes more convenient. Maybe if you push, we go to the other side. Here we go. So here you have two encoders to change your cursors. Both of the oscilloscopes also have an FFT function, and then it becomes sort of a spectrum analyzer. So if we have the signal here, this is 1 MHz, and I will add an harmonic, because now the generator that I use, I suppressed all the harmonics, but if I now put a harmonic here, you can see it comes, and I can set the order also. Set it now to the 4th order. I add another one there. So you can see it's kind of a spectrum analyzer, which is pretty cool because these scopes nowadays are so fast that you can actually do these things. I did the same with the Rigol here. It was a little bit more complicated because I'm not a real user, and yeah, I don't see the other harmonics. I see it here in the signal, I don't see it here. Maybe if I close this screen we have a better view. Yeah, I don't really understand why I don't see the others. I see the main signal, but somehow I don't see the harmonics. I probably need to read better how this works on the Rigol. Because when I put it back in, yeah, it just shows there. If I switch off one harmonic, it goes. Clearly, I'm not the most advanced oscilloscope user, but I find a really nice review from Performa01 on the EEV blog, and I will leave the link. And he tested very deeply everything, and then you can really see how good the Siglent is. If I find something like this also for the Rigol, I will also add it to the description link. But look at this. This guy understands what he is doing. I wanted to have a quick look also at the software available for both oscilloscopes. Here we have EasyWaveX for the generator. We don't have the generator option, but we have here the Scope Lab. That is something new from Siglent, and well, here you have also for the logic analyzer. So we're going to try the Scope Lab, but it also has a web interface, so we can look at that too. And when I look at Rigol, I don't find any software for this series oscilloscope. Yeah, maybe it's also just a web interface. Can we select firmware? No, also no firmware available. I did find here, just new, also for Siglent, they do provide with release notes. In the past, Siglent always had Easy Scope software, and now they have Scope Lab. But somehow I don't get it started, and I don't know why. Maybe I need to reboot, but it looks something like this, and you can analyze a lot of signals. I think you can even export CSVs and then replay it on the PC. Yeah, I'm not sure why it doesn't work, because my minimum requirements are okay. So we're just going to focus on the web interface then. We seem to have a bit more luck using the web interface. I just set the oscilloscope to DHP and I checked what the IP number was, and well, we are here in the screen of the Siglent. It is the LXI compatible. Here we have, it is 1.5 standard apparently. We can do our LOM configuration here. I set it to DHCP, but you can also set it manual and then it becomes more reliable if you always wanted to have the same IP number. We have instrument control and we can see exactly what is also on the screen of the oscilloscope, which is pretty cool. It seems to respond quite fast. We can see exactly the same happening on the screen, which is actually quite cool. And you can send your SAPI commands. I think IDN was identify, I think, but I could also be wrong. I can ask the scope model, that is probably this. And yes, it comes back with the number. Okay, so you can just run all those SAPIs directly from the web interface. Let's switch over to the web interface of the Rigol. It seems a lot more advanced. I have a lot of options here. The LXI compatible also, only this is 1.4 and not 1.5. We have web control. Oh, that's pretty cool. We can do the same. Yeah, and the screen is also moving just like the other one. We see exactly the same. Pretty cool print screen we can do. If I say take a screenshot, yeah, that is exactly what is on my screen. Look at this, pretty cool. And we can even do recordings, that's also nice. Network status, also the SAPI commands. Oh, it's IDN with a star in front. Okay, here we see the same. We have security, we can set passwords, and here we can go to the supporting website. So both the web interfaces do more or less the same, and I like the fact that you can just put your SAPI directly in the web interface. Okay, that was my quick hands-on or sort of first impression. We've seen the outside, the different sizes. We have seen some functions, XY mode, auto triggering, FFT, the web interfaces of both of them, and sort of the usability, user-friendliness, ventilation, noise. I think they are both the same. I thought because the fan was a little bit smaller, there would be a higher pitch, but it is not the case. Maybe they spin it slower. And because the mesh is so open, there is not a dust filter. It doesn't need to spin that hard because it just ventilates very easy. Well, the old one is completely silent, of course. We also have seen the difference between the 8-bit and the 12-bit was pretty nice. I will leave the links of the proper test that I found on the EEV blog. I will leave also in the comments. That's it. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time.